Welcome back, episode number 4 of Turf Talks. We are back. Turf Talks. We got the new sign back there as well. We got the boys back in the house. We got your boy Spence, the two-time Ketterling, and we got Wyatt, Y Guy Larson right now, and you got me, of course. Zach coming in clutch. Trey is gone. Trey had something else going on. I don't know where. Honestly, Trey might be lost. There's a good chance Trey is lost. If you've seen him, let us know because he is nowhere to be seen, heard, or anything. Boys, how we doing? How we feeling? Good weekend? Good time to be alive, or what?
Oh yeah. We had that flag football game, all of us last night.
Oh my gosh, don't even remind me, man. So if you see me talking weird, if my face looks funny, it's because there's a good chance my upper lip area / nose could potentially be broken as we speak. It is so sore right now. I got nailed right in the face. Like second play of the game, right after Wyatt got burnt for a touchdown. I was playing zone defense, and Spencer yells, "Zach, he's coming." And I turn, and this guy smoked me right in the face, dropped my ass. But I hung in there. I didn't get a look the entire game just because I'm by far the least athletic person out there as we speak. And I caught the ending 2-point conversion to seal the game away and still lose by 9. So here we are, boys.
You guys want to talk about me getting burnt, but I mean, 3 tutties, just a one-handed grab, like maybe 400 yards receiving speaks for itself.
400 yards receiving.
400 yards receiving. This guy, I don't want to already skip to it, but this guy could have been potentially a dog of the week if this is actually mattered. But no, we all got the pads. Yeah,
give me a helmet.
Mine.
Yeah, Spence, what'd you do this weekend, man? Anything crazy?
Just a birthday.
Yeah, birthday. Yes, absolutely. This was Spencer's big B-day this weekend. He's currently 27 years old.
Hey, speaking of that, me and Spence, we ripped it on the golf course last weekend.
Zach was there.
I was driving the cart. Driving the cart. Don't forget about that.
We were dogging.
Low key. It up.
There we go.
I ran out of balls.
That'll happen.
I put them in the bowl so many times I couldn't find them.
Jesus. Well, that was my first experience of it doing a little golfing. I wasn't, full on golfing, but I let out the inner tiger in me shine a little bit. But no, it was a good weekend, boys. I'm excited to be back here. Another week in the books, another good weekend of football, guys. Not just to jump right into it, but we had a solid week to witness again with the NFL, man. And that kind of kicks us off with our weekend recap, going all the way back to last week, Thursday. Gentlemen, we obviously had the game of the century between Lions and Packers out there. What do we think? Obviously, the Lions came home with the big win. What were your initial takeaways, Wyatt, from this game that you saw?
I mean, I for some reason this game got close, but the Lions should have blown them out. I mean, they were the more dominant team here, and Jahmyr Gibbs needs the ball more. I just want to reiterate that. Sorry. But give this man the rock. David Montgomery can block, don't get me wrong. 32 carries, 121 yards, and 3 tutties. It's a good day for him, don't get me wrong, but Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield, and when you get him out in space on a little short passing plays, he's just too electrifying not to play him.
And I think, there's always going to be the fantasy owners, I'm one of them included, that are like, what the hell, he needs the ball more. I think just in general, as a Lions fan, you want to see your 12 overall pick get the ball more than 4 times a game, essentially. I mean, David Montgomery is a starting caliber running back. I'm not discrediting him. I mean, the stats show it himself. The guy can run the dang ball. But you can't also just not use your 12 overall pick, in my opinion. And I think he has shown nothing but being effective and is way more diverse than Montgomery is as a runner and what you can use him as a weapon on offense. They could be much better if they just use that, I feel like, in my opinion. And it's not a matter of fantasy. It's just in general, they could be a better football team if they use him more.
Plus, in general, like in this league, it's more of a 1-2 back league right now.
Yeah.
Like if you have a really dominant 1-2 back on your team, you're more likely to win games.
100%. I mean, look at the Packers. They're kind of one of the better ones in the league right now with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. Same thing
Missing
kind of
Bakhtiari
with,
hurts them though, unfortunately.
doesn't help the situation. But like that's a perfect example of why you need two running backs. One's your power back, one's your kind of pass catching hybrid guy. I think of, and then they're not a great duo right now, but the way the team is using them on a pretty shitty offense, and I'm not going to jump to the Steelers game already in this point, but they also use a similar mindset with Najee being kind of their power back, and then they have, who's the number 30 on that team? Warren is his last name, I think. He's like their pass catching running back, and same thing with the Lions. They could do that so much better than what they're doing currently right now. I think they only have more to grow in that sense, and that's just use your people that you drafted, in my opinion.
Well, when you say like two running backs, like double-headed, whatever you want to call it, backs, I think of the Falcons. The Falcons have the perfect example of that. But I think I don't know what their offense is doing. They're trying to, I don't know, their game plan just doesn't really help. We'll talk about it later, but their game plan just, I don't agree.
Obviously, the Dolphins are an anomaly right here. They just got two really fast guys that can just dominate the field.
Yeah. There ain't no power back. They're both just like, we're just gonna, like, they're like running relays. Like it's just first leg and second leg is what that is. But no, I mean Lions look damn good.
Lions defense that holding them to 27 yards rushing is
Aiden Hutchinson he's good, man. He's gonna be a dominant DN in this league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. And I think Jordan Love didn't have the best game. He showed that he had some times where he was not hot. I will admit he did not play well at times, but he also came back and was making a comeback at some points throughout the game when it was down and out, nothing was going right for them. And he was able to bring that team kind of out of the shit that they were in and pulled them into a better spot for a little bit there. So again, I don't think it's time for Packers fans to hit the panic button. I think it's going to be just fine. But yeah, that's kind of this game, guys. I literally only had David Montgomery because he was the only like legit stat line that stood out to me at all or anything like that. Otherwise, pretty dominant win by the Lions.
Yeah, Goff's numbers were down a little bit this week.
Yeah, he didn't play his best either, and like he went on that massive streak without throwing interception. And he's thrown like 3 in the last 3 weeks. So it's like, not looking the best. But again, Lions, they're on the ups. I think they're going to be just fine. But yeah, that's kind of last week Thursday, boys. Let's just hop into Sunday though, and let's talk about a team that probably should be hitting the panic button, and the Steelers versus Texans. And I'm not talking Texans, I'm talking Steelers, guys. Our Steelers liaison professional there, Trey, is no longer here.
He didn't want to talk about this week
today.
Probably.
He didn't want to talk about it
that's probably why he's missing.
Yeah, he goes, I'm not showing up for this shit. No, Steelers did not look great at all. I mean, defense didn't play well. Offense played like shit as always. What it proved to me, though, honestly, with the Steelers is it's not necessarily that the defense isn't even good anymore. No, I think what's happening is the defense has literally had to carry the Steelers for the first 3 weeks. They're not going to be able to be out there the entire game because their offense gets 3 and out drives and they take off a minute from the clock and then they're back out there for another 6-7 minutes. I mean, that's just demoralizing as a defense to try to continue that type of action. It's not the Steelers' fault. The Steelers' defense is still one of the best. TJ Watt is still one of the best, if not the best defensive player in the NFL.
They gave up almost 500 total yards.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good showing from them. And I think, honestly, it's more of a wear and tear thing that they're being so overused because their offense can't put anything together. It's just they're running out of steam quick, and they're not going to be able to last much longer if the offense can't figure something out. Spence, what did you see from this game?
When your safety in Minka Fitzpatrick is getting the most tackles on your team, you're just getting either fried or you're getting just bulldozed.
Yeah,
that's another thing. It's just like you can't have that. I mean, Pickett did go down, but he wasn't. It's not like that was the factor.
Yeah,
like if he threw 15 for 23 for 114 yards and a pick. I'm like,
Not
So
great.
you can't really, yeah. It's one of those games where you have to like put it so far underneath the rug you can't even like clean it up. And just
Mhm.
it's one of those games. But you
Yeah,
what?
Matt Canada is definitely on the hot seat right now. I think. I mean, how could you not be after your offense puts up a whopping 6 points?
He's been there for what, 2 years straight now? Maybe
I think
3.
3 years.
Yeah, 3. I would give it 3 now.
Yeah.
I mean, Texans they're the real deal, man.
Texans are impressive, and I was giving you shit, Wyatt, for just being a CJ Stroud lover there because coming from Ohio State, but
It's all right.
he's legit. He's a legit quarterback in the NFL, especially as a rookie. I think he's by far looks the most like composed out there. The Texans have a really good young core of players that are going to be good for the next few years to come.
They really
Minimum.
vibe well together.
Yeah.
Like, this team just gels.
They have a lot of similar type of guys that are just, they're just ballers in a nutshell. They've had a ton of draft picks in the last couple of years, really high, doing really well. I mean, you're talking Will Anderson, who I think is also having a pretty underappreciated rookie season. I mean, I think he's playing pretty damn well too.
Don't forget about free agency, picking up Dalton Schultz and Robert Woods.
Yeah,
those were key pickups in this offense right here.
Yeah,
and they're still missing, I think, 2 of their old linemen. I don't think Laramie Tunsil's back, and their right guard, which for some reason I can't think of the name right now, they are still missing. So this team's not even 100% yet. So that's kind of scary.
And they're kicking ass. I mean, if you're going up against one of the better defenses like this as a rookie quarterback, like CJ Stroud is, and perform like he did, like look at that, like 16 for 32, 50% passing, then 306 yards passing, and then 2 touchdowns on top of it, no picks. He still hasn't thrown a pick yet. Insane. I mean, that's a rookie record at this point. I mean,
he looks like he's playing like exactly like he did in college. Like he shows no emotion on the field. Really just calm, poised, and he trusts his eyes. He knows where to go with the football, and he's just making the right reads.
I know. And Nico Collins obviously had a game himself. Keep that name in mind there for you viewers at home. But no,
that's my dog of the week nominee.
Dog of the week nominee. Yep, Nico Collins got one of the nominations for us this week. I mean, 7 catches, 168 yards, and 2 touchdowns is insane. Nico Collins is also just coming out of the shell and becoming that guy this year too. I mean, it's been impressive. Him, Tank Dell, as I now know, all those guys, they're damn good. Hey, check out the new TikTok. It's impressive. I've been really happy with the Texans all around. Steelers, it's not looking good, man, and they need to figure it out. I think it starts with just changing their OC. They figure out Matt Canada, get rid of them, change it up, give them an option or something else to get mad at, to like that you can actually change an effect on the field before you immediately start saying it's something else going on, But overall, pretty dominant win by the Texans there, guys. Let's jump into the next game we had this Sunday we're going to talk about. We had Saints versus Bucks, and I'm going to let Spencer kind of lead this one, man. Hey, tough game, but guess what? It's okay because Bucks are one of the better teams, to be honest with you, which is surprising. But Spence, what do you think? What were your takeaways from this game?
I don't know. It was tough to watch. Yeah. we had Jameis last week, try to step up and do something, and this week it was just like nothing could go for us. Mm-hmm. And once we caught so there was one play where we picked off Baker at the 1, but he put his feet down at like our corner, put his feet down at the 1. But the rule is if your body is getting pulled, it goes with your momentum in the end zone. So he lands in the end zone, and all the analysts are talking about how should have been a touchback. And I think the score was 6.
It was like 26-6. I'm pretty sure.
No, at the moment I'm talking about, like I think it was like 6-0. I think that's what it was. And he falls in the end zone, and all the analysts are saying it's a touchback, and the refs come out and say he's at the 1. So we ran a fullback dive, and our fullback is dog shit, and he fumbles the ball, and then they get it and score. And then Derek Carr come back out, and it's like 3rd and 6, through the drive, and we throw to the fullback, hits him right in the hands, and he drops it. So it was just, and then Chris Olave didn't want to run any routes. Like he was running like half speed. Why? I'm being serious.
He did. No, he had the one that dropped right into his hands.
He got, no, I'm saying like he did, but he like there was when it wasn't like to him, the play wasn't designed for him. He's running half speed, and even like the announcers are saying it's like no one wants it right now.
Yep.
We just dug ourselves a hole, and that's about it. I mean, Kamara had what is it? 13 receptions for 33 yards. Like he had the catches, but nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, and we just.
Hey, do you think Derek Carr's still hurt?
It could have been. He looked inaccurate. Like he looked like he was throwing the ball. He threw 3 for 3 plays, and he went over to the head twice and then underthrew on one, and it didn't look like Carr. I mean, he's not having the greatest season, but
he should have at least had a touchdown on Chris Olave though. I mean that hit right in the hands, unfortunately.
And I mean, like I was talking about Kenny Pickett saying he threw for whatever for 114 yards. Well, Derek Carr threw for 23 for 37, 127 yards. So, I mean, I can shit on the Steelers, but I'm gonna get shit on right back. So.
I mean, it was a tough game. Like I said, Bucks, they have us. Baker's playing out of his damn mind. I mean, 25 for 32, 246, 3 touchdowns, and just 1 interception.
That defense they're at least a top 10 defense.
Right now. I mean, you still have 2 of the best linebackers in the NFL right now. You have who's that guy up front? Is it Shaq Barrett that's going off right now? Shaquille Barrett.
Yeah.
They also have Vita Vea.
Yep, Vita Vea. He's a dominant force as nose tackle. I mean, that's a solid defense. You can't
still have
Winfield up too much.
Winfield is good.
Yeah, I mean, Bucks. They're showing that they're still alive, man. They're no longer just like Tom Brady's. Just kind of like leftovers, I guess, in a way. Like,
now they're kings of the NFC South.
Yeah, they're making it work, man. Which props to Baker, and I think he's kind of proven that he's still got something left in him, I guess is the best way to put it. But
absolutely
good for him though, and good for the Bucks. But Saints, you guys, like I said, I don't think you have anything to really worry about. Just kind of banged up a little bit. Kamara's gonna have his 50 bombs when it comes to fantasy terms, as in like 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, some crazy shit that he's going to get. So he'll be back in action before we know it. Let's move on to next game, though, guys. We had Commanders versus Eagles. Man, what a game this was. I know for a Commanders fan like yourself, I'm sure it was just sad to see at the end, because it was
go for 2. Why aren't we going for 2 there? Who the hell? I don't give a shit if you're tired or not. Go for damn 2. You really thought you could beat the Eagles in overtime?
The excuse that they were tired.
Yeah. I don't want to hear that excuse. That's a bullshit. Oh my god.
That's essentially Ron Rivera saying, "I never really even thought about it." That's essentially what he probably should have said, because that's probably what happened. He had no idea. He was like, let's just kick it. I was surprised they didn't just end the game. I mean, who cares? Who cares?
Have that great of a drive.
Yeah.
Calm down. Sam Howell.
You had
literally staring the danger dead. Just absolutely precise. Byron Pringle's out here running routes, boys. And he caught a 3rd and 17. Literally got to a 4th and 2. Sam Howell extends the play. Convert the 4th and 2. 5 seconds. The only bad throw I'd say he's trying to hit the hot route. And I mean, I get it. It gave us a chance for another play. But if he was nowhere close to being in the end zone, and that would have ran out the clock.
Yeah, it was a
physical game. Yeah. Brian Robinson, truck stick 2 people running into the end zone. Mean runs. He's ended up on NFL Network.
I like Brian Robinson a lot. I think he's really coming out and becoming his own, and he's going to be. I mean, he's by far the number 1 running back. I mean, Antonio Gibson. Dead, and it's not even dead
he's
alive
not
yet.
He's not dead. He's a receiving back, and he's very good at it. What he does, I'm being completely honest with you.
Well, I'm glad
you can run the ball with him.
I'm glad you're at least using him. I think Brad Robinson though is showing he's the guy though.
He's the first. He's a first down, second down back. Trust
me. Gibson got 1 for 7. That's not really good.
This guy's good at what he does,
Bro. If you have a one, he went 6. He had 6 carries, 19 yards, longest for 10. Bro,
You said he's a receiving back.
yes, but on third down, you still run the ball though, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying you're talking about
Thank you.
receiving.
You answered my question. All right, on to the next.
Okay. Well, we'll all talk about the Eagles at this point. Eagles, they showed out. They played well. This is one of Jalen Hurts' first decent games back from beginning of the season, to be honest with you. He hasn't really played well in the first 4 games. Had a decent game here. Had some inaccuracies, I would say. There were still some balls that were just like, dude, what are you doing kind of a thing. Took some sacks that he probably shouldn't have, but I think he looked kind of your old Jalen Hurts from last year that we saw. Great game. You guys can see the stats. They're down below. AJ Brown, though, holy hell. 9 catches, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Potentially could have been up there as a dog of the week candidate, to be honest with you. I mean, he had a great week. Came out, finally had a decent week himself, got the looks that he wanted, was getting touchdowns. I mean, he that's exactly why his Instagram handle is always open, because that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, our rookie Emmanuel Forbes, he was guarding him all game and doing actually a decent job, but then he started talking shit, and I kind of I looked over to Devin. I'm like, no, this is not good. Why are we talking shit to their best player? You are a rookie. Yeah. Gets the double move, touchdown, and then the next one breaks another tackle, touchdown. Like, all right, we should be shit talking their best receiver.
It's enough slices. Yeah, no, it's he really blew up in that second half, man.
So, like I said, he did do a really good job of defending him most of the game.
Yeah,
but those 2 plays really hurt him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Overall, though, went to overtime. Eagles got the win with the ending kick by Jake Elliott himself. Dog really of the week. I'm just kidding. Yeah, really, he's really good. I mean, who would have thought that their best draft pick that year was not Carson
Wentz? 5 for 5
Wentz?
or 4 for 4?
I honestly don't know. I don't know what he went, but who knew
4
that?
4 for 4, plus a clutch game-winning kick.
Yeah,
really good.
Solid. But no, Eagles got the win, man. They're looking good as ever. I think Jason Kelsey's getting more close-up camera angles than ever before. They're always showing his face right in the main camera.
Mama Kelsey hanging out with Jake from State Farm at the game.
Yeah,
like, what a combo! I want to see more Jake from State Farm and Mama Kelsey than Mama Kelsey and T Swift. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just like what a combo of Jake from State Farm. Like, who should we put her with at the Eagles game? Jake from State Farm sounds good.
Hey, he was just at the game. They're like, all right, just sneak over there, have a talk with her, get on camera.
But hey, good win by the Eagles. Commanders, they're a feisty team, man. You guys are a scrappy team, and I think you're going to be just fine. Doing well. That's a tough division to begin with that you guys are in, and I think you're showing that, man. You're one to contend with the rest of them. So, nice job there, Commanders. But Eagles get the win. Next up, Sunday night, we had Chiefs versus Jets, and let me just say, this game, I don't think anybody thought was going to be a game, to be honest with you. But it came down to the wire. Chiefs won by literally like the last couple minute field goals, and that was.
Can I say something?
Yes, that's the podcast. You can say whatever you want.
All right. Me and Devin. So obviously we were gambling, and Devin looked up a stat. Like, he wanted to see who is everyone betting. 97% bet on Kansas City, and I think they were like -9 or just even money line. But the other 3%, and the line dropped, and that shouldn't happen, because when most people like how betting works is when a lot of people bet on one line, that line keeps going up. So like, say that the Chiefs were -7.5. Their line should have went up to like 9, 10, 14. You know what I mean? Just because multiple people are betting on them. Mm-hmm. But the line literally dropped from 9 to 6 to 5. And me and Devin were looking at each other like, dude, do we bet the Jets right now? Like, we literally had that conversation. It was like, there's no way this line went. Vegas knows something. And they did tonight. And then they did that night. They knew something was going to happen.
My goodness.
Hey, man.
Hey, I mean, I don't know
if
Vegas knows and has the script on hand with them, but
trust me, they do, because Vegas knows everything.
Man, well, hey, what a game regardless, so that the Jets were able to put together to literally be a contender with the Chiefs. I don't think Pat Mahomes and Kelsey looked good at all. Chris Collinsworth is doing his best to give Pat Mahomes all the praises in the world. Even when he threw a pick. You guys see that video, like he threw the pick and he goes, nobody knows how to arc the ball better than Patrick Mahomes.
I saw when he threw the pick. Like I was going to say, it kind of seems like refs don't throw the flag on the Chiefs very much, but when they do, or for the Chiefs, like it doesn't look. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I understand what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, like they're trying to they throw the flags in weird. Like they don't call this, but they'll call this.
So
and there was
it was a
a
real physical game. Like they were letting the corners and wide receivers play all game long. Like there was a lot of hand grab, and I attribute this because obviously, if you look at the ratings, Taylor Swift, like she's brought in so many more millions of views to these Kansas City games. I mean, Travis Kelce's jersey like boosted like 400%. Yeah, 400% in sales. Like what? So could this be like, hey, if T Swift's showing up to the game, are we really allowing the Chiefs to lose to this team? Like that's what it came down to in my mind. Like, are they gonna risk the viewers? When I mean, there's 28 million more viewers. Like that was the most viewed game since the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
It was just insane. There might have been even more viewers.
The T Swift effect.
It might have been. It is. So like at that point, like is the NFL really going to risk the viewers watching the Kansas City Chiefs lose, or like what happens there? Because like, did you guys watch the beginning of like the Sunday Night Football, like the intros? Anything like
a little bit, yeah.
So did you see the voice part where they?
Yeah. Yep.
So they brought on the cast from The Voice, and they were explaining like to all the Swifties like what football is, and they literally said if the Jets win, it'd be a miraculous win. Like he was just shit talking the Jets, and then it's just like, bro, what do you know about football? Like why are we putting this in here?
You don't know ball.
I mean, in the end of the day, and that's all what sports are in this case. They're entertainment. I mean, they're meant to entertain the audience.
It's overplayed. Like they go over the top, and it's just like it makes us actual fans just like pissed off. And it's like, dude, I don't want to hear about Taylor Swift coming to the game. Not to mention Ryan Reynolds was standing right next to him, and they did not say his
Wolverine
name. That pissed me off. I was like, Ryan Reynolds is literally right there.
Friendly gesture.
He's got a Netflix TV show on Rex. I mean, they still not saying his name. What the fuck?
They're like, yeah, there's Taylor Swift and 2 homeless people that have.
Yeah, like honestly, come on, man.
Crazy. Well,
RG3.
Let's get to the actual game though, guys. Zach Wilson did play really well, and I was watching a lot of shows this week about Zach Wilson, and there's a lot of shows about the Giants, which we'll talk about just in a second. What Zach Wilson did on Sunday night was buy himself a second chance to be like, okay, maybe there is something here. That's all he was able to do. It's not like, oh, they're good, don't worry about it. We'll definitely, you don't even have to worry about drafting a quarterback. You don't have to worry about, oh, Aaron Rodgers, just take the time you need, come back when you're healthy. That's not what that means. What it means is he at least has hope now where nobody was giving him hope in the last couple of weeks.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, did you see him on those crutches?
Yeah,
moving.
He was hardly using them.
Yeah,
that dude was walking.
It's insane, and like I think like the typical time frame for that is like 12 weeks, and this is week 3 after surgery, and he's already walking like that. Like you're telling me the guy's 9 weeks ahead of schedule.
He was in like a foot brace. It wasn't even like
it's like an ankle brace. Yeah, like your dad just
after 12 days, he was already walking like that on it.
Yeah, that's insane, man. And hey, I'm hoping that Rodgers can do it. We kind of all thought.
I think his timetable, like, of course, he doesn't have a timetable, he says, but his timetable is like literally after the bye week. So week 7, bye week.
No way.
Yeah, that's really what he was trying to get at.
Holy shit! If he does, that's insane. Like insane, if you ask me.
Insane, dude.
I can't
believe week 5 right now, dude.
Wow. Well, I'm hoping for Rodgers.
That's 3 weeks away. He's expected to get on the field.
Crazy. I'm in Rodgers. He tore his Achilles.
Dude,
5
he's
years
like,
ago.
Yeah.
And
He's still
guy's
slinging.
coming back. The guy's coming back already. Insane. Well, I'm hoping for his case he can do it. Isaiah Pacheco, last thing we'll say and we'll move on, had a great game himself, 20 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown for the New Jersey native himself. Great game. I think he's a great player. The guy runs like he's pissed off at the ground. I love it.
Yeah, just throwing up dirt.
I know.
Hey,
But,
Brees Hall, not on a snap count now. Did you see Robert Saleh came out and said Brees Hall is not on a snap count. He's going to get let loose this week.
Ooh. Well,
That
let's
should be
hope
fun
so.
to watch.
Let's
Yeah.
hope so, man.
Delvin, I think Delvin's pretty much done. I don't know
Yeah.
why they're not using.
Yeah, he
Brees.
does not look good at all right now.
Yeah. But, well, they got time. Zach Wilson's on the ups and ups, and hopefully Rodgers can make a return here soon. All right, and last but not least, that leaves my Seattle Seahawks. They're playing the Giants on Monday Night Football, and, man, what a game. I was a little bit nervous there right away in the first half. Not a pretty game of football at all. Insane number of flags. I think the refs threw more flags in the one half of football than they did the entire weekend combined with all the other games. It was ridiculous. There's a point where the Seahawks had 4 consecutive flags in a row, and it brought us to like 1st and 30, like on our second possession of offense. It's like, dude, we got to figure something out. This is getting ridiculous. Well, we did figure it out. Thank goodness. We ended with a great game, beat them 24-3, kicked them out of the water there. But what I will say is I think overall, man, the Seahawks had a pretty solid showing when it comes to offense in the second half, especially. I didn't say the name there, but that was Kenneth Walker's numbers there, 17 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown. I think he also had a catch or two there as well on top of that. So really good game from him. Just super solid again, running hard. The guy is almost impossible to tackle right away. I want to talk about my boy, my dog of the week nomination, Devin Witherspoon, dude. 7 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, 1 interception, 1 touchdown with that interception on top of it. Like, the guy filled up the stats. This guy had a Russell Westbrook type of a performance when it comes to football. I mean, he was doing everything on the field. He was locking guys down. He was getting after the quarterback. He plays the run like a damn linebacker. The guy likes to get after people. I'm worried about his health. I'm hoping he can stay healthy, unlike Jamal Adams, unfortunately. But Seahawks play great. What I really want to talk about, though, guys, is the Giants, because we're going to get to power rankings next, and a little bit new segment there for us. There is the power rankings. I honestly think Giants are the worst team in the NFL right now. My personal opinion, they need to figure it out because their offense looks so bad. Their defense did not do anything. I mean, overall, that was not a great showing from the Giants, and I think they need to figure out what is their future. What are they supposed to do, especially with Daniel Jones, with his contract, with Saquon? Like what is the why? What are you thinking for this?
Well, I mean, I think we all know from last year that this team goes where Saquon goes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's rule number 1. And not to mention, like, when Daniel Jones was ending on his last year of his rookie contract, I mean, I think we all thought the numbers probably would have been about 30 mil, 35. They signed him for 47 mil. What could anyone double check his all-time starting record? I think it's like 22 and like 30 some in 1. That's not great.
No.
And you decided to pay this man 47 mil, which not only did you not help his O-line out, like literally at all, allowing Saquon to get hurt again, unfortunately. Like that when that guy is healthy.
He's 22, 34, and 1.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and you paid this man 47 mil instead of spending it on defensive players. Now, granted, I understand Jalen Hyatt isn't like turning out what he meant to be, but he's a 5th round draft pick. Like, and then, there's a reason why he's a 5th round draft pick. He didn't have the sure hands. He had the speed and all the athletic aspects that come into it, but like his hands were a question in college. So this entire team, like literally, they need to get Saquon back. That is the
Yeah.
only thing that can save this team at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Saquon, without Saquon, they're by far the worst team in the NFL. With Saquon, they're not as bad, but the team itself is not built to win a Super Bowl or anything at this point. I mean, last year, I think, if anything, was a fluke when it comes to how well they started the season. I mean, I don't think they were ever actually as good as people thought they were. They got one playoff win, and it was against the Vikings, who were even a bigger fluke last year. I mean, like, it was kind of like a perfect situation for them to even make it to how far they did, just with how, everything landed, honestly, with that. But I saw something today too where, like, what are their options? They can't cut Daniel Jones after this year. If they cut him, they're going to eat like 60-some million in like
They
money
can
because of it.
renegotiate this contract not next year but the year after. So after year 2, they might restructure that a little bit, but for next year they're not in a good situation.
No, not at all. I mean, it's not looking good at all, guys. Giants are. That was not a pretty showing. I mean, the Seahawks don't have a great pass rush, and we got 11 sacks, which is a record on primetime night. Like, you can't let that happen, especially not against the Seahawks. I'll be the first one to say it. Seahawks do not have a good pass rush. We've gotten minimal quarterback pressures and sacks this year so far, and then
you got my boy Draymond Jones though.
He hasn't done shit. I'm glad we have him, but he hasn't done shit this entire year so far.
He's got a sack or two.
He had a sack this last game. He had, I think, the sack the week before or so, or he was injured for one of the weeks. So it's like he hasn't done much. And there's still plenty of game and season to be left. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
We don't have a good pass rush right now, and they gave up 11 sacks to us. So I'll take it. I'll take the record, but let it be known that the 2023-2024 Seattle Seahawks don't have a great pass rush, and we still have the record unfortunately, and that just shows you how bad the Giants are.
Yeah, but we can't skip over Bobby Wagner. 17 tackles, 9 solo, 2 sacks, and 2 TFL and 2 quarterback hits.
Bobby is
younger. He balled out.
That guy. Bobby has.
How old is Bobby? 30 what?
I don't know how old he is.
32.
I mean, I also think Bobby is like,
and he's still doing it. 33, and he's still doing it out here. Damn, that's insane.
I know. I'm looking up the stat leaders really quick because I think he's got to be leading the NFL in tackles right now, or he's close to it at least.
Nope, my boy Zaire Franklin.
Yeah, Zaire Franklin is still higher, but yes, Bobby Wagner's got 50 tackles in 4 games.
That's insane.
Averaging like what 12, 13 a game. And he's had a couple of games where he's already had like over like 17 or almost 20 tackles, which is insane. So like this guy's going off. Big win by the Seahawks, though.
Franklin is literally carrying my team. Him and Christian McCaffrey. he scored me literally 17, 15, like 14. Just insane numbers.
There we go, Franklin. But no, going into the bye week, we have a bye week next week already, which sucks to have that early of a bye week. But 3-1, not too mad about it. Pretty happy where we're at as a team. Hopefully it's on the ups for the Seahawks and Giants. Hope you guys get Saquon back soon. But hey, that brings us to our new segment here, guys. We're actually just going to go through the power rankings we have currently right now because we do have some, I think, controversy a little bit on where some people are listed at. I sure as hell thought the same thing when I was looking through this because I'm like, why are we doing this? A little bit confusing.
Half this doesn't make sense to me at all, to be honest with you.
Well, let's pull it up here quick, guys. I'm going to grab it right here. Boom. And we're going to start off down below in the shithole that is the Chicago Bears. Number 32. I don't think there's a lot of question about this.
I think we all agree there.
I think this is pretty straightforward, guys.
I hate the shit on this team. But
Bears?
Because I mean they had a 21-point lead over Denver going into that fourth quarter.
I think it proves to you that you deserve to be the shittiest team in the NFL right now if you blew a 21-point lead like
they
that.
Definitely are the unluckiest
to another shit team.
Yes. I mean, you go from one shit team to the next. I mean, Panthers, I don't know if I believe
they should have won. They should have won. That pisses me off. Vikings should be down there. Dude, Bryce Young doesn't fumble that. Damn it, dude! I want to see the Vikings.
I agree. I don't think Panthers record-wise. Yes, they haven't got a win. I get that.
They got a great defense.
I don't think the Panthers are actually this bad. I don't think they're like, oh, the 31 ranked team in the NFL. I don't believe that. I think they're better than this. I think they're going to get some wins on the season, obviously. But yeah, they almost had the Vikings. But for now, yeah, I get it. They're still one of the teams that hasn't got a win yet. Makes sense. Put them down at the bottom of the barrel. I get it. Next up, your boys, we have the New York Giants, which I do agree with this ranking because they prove that besides Saquon, there's so many holes and so many weaknesses in this team that you can't really do much more with it. You guys agree or disagree with this one here?
I agree. The pass rush hasn't showed up. I mean, this defense is getting cooked. And primetime games giving up 80 points, some shit like that. Yeah, it's not acceptable.
I'd put Carolina over. I'd put Carolina at 30, and then the Jets.
I would do that.
I put the Giants at 31. Carolina at 29, Minnesota at 30.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Stay down there.
Minnesota's not doing great. I will say that.
No, they're not a good team.
And I think the only reason why the Carolina's below them is because, again, they don't have a win yet. I think that's literally the only reason why. But moving on, Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know about this one.
I don't agree. I think the Broncos should be lower.
Yeah, I don't think the Las Vegas Raiders have proved to be.
Yes and no.
I mean, they've proven they've had glimpses of being good, though, in my opinion.
Hey, so is Chandler Jones just not going to play for this squad?
He got cut.
Did he get cut?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going down a dark path right now, man. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, they announced it. I think it was on last week Friday or Thursday.
They might be down here on this list. They might be 28.
They're down below. I don't think they're worse though than the next one up here, Denver Broncos. I think these guys are shit, man. They got the win, which is why they got bumped up, but they beat the worst fucking team in the NFL. How can you tell me they just boost themselves all the way this high? I think the Panthers are better than the Broncos right now, in my opinion. I mean, they've had some comeback wins and stuff here, but I think as an overall team that aren't getting blown out, that aren't getting everything dropped on them when it comes to defensively, like they have no defense. Like they have one of the worst defenses in the NFL right now, giving up an insane number of passing yards, giving up an insane number of or just overall yards, insane number of touchdowns. Like, holy cow, we can't be putting, I think, the Panthers below these guys. The Panthers have a better overall team than this, in my opinion. Thoughts?
A lot of youth.
Yes and no.
A lot of youth on the Panthers and some new guys. They're like, you have a new quarterback, another wide receiver in Thielen.
Who balled out this week? Balled out. Too? No, Frank Wright. Is he new or he's definitely new. Actually, I take that back. Yeah, he's new.
So like that all comes into it.
Fired.
But you can say that with the Broncos. You can say new head coach, all that stuff, but I mean, Russ is a veteran, and it shouldn't matter on the head coach. Russ
is looking better and better each week. I don't think this is on
better than what? Better than what?
Wilson at all. Like just playing better.
I don't have faith. I think he fell out. I think he's washed.
Because in that Miami game, he's definitely not the reason they lost. He was actually putting up points, completing passes. Like this literally is all in the defense. And this defense is very good. Right.
Yeah.
But also he's not getting help by his receivers as well. I mean, missing Cortland Sutton, which doesn't help. And then Jerry Jeudy's just getting double guarded every play. Marvin Mims, the second round draft pick, he doesn't look that great as well. I mean, and the O-line. O-line is not holding up right now. So, like, there's a combination of a couple different things. Now, granted, this team should be performing better, and I think Sean Payton is a great offensive play caller. But all in all, this team is not performing like they should, and you guys are correct.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's move on, boys. We got 27 other teams to go through here. We have Arizona Cardinals. I don't know if these guys deserve to be down like this because I think
they need to be higher.
They've done nothing but prove that they're not that bad of a team, and they actually play pretty well against some pretty good teams in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Except
for the Giants.
They don't deserve to be this low, in my opinion, at all. No,
but, they should be up there.
I don't have anything other
than two down from.
What's that?
How'd they drop two?
Well, the next one makes no fucking sense.
Is that the Colts?
It's the Colts. How do you have a 2-2 team this low on this ranking right now, and a team that also has played against some very good teams? They almost came back and beat the Rams.
They have the
And
Vikings ahead of them.
Rams, yes, they have the Vikings ahead of the Colts, which makes no sense to me at all.
Something ain't adding up there.
It doesn't make any sense. Let's just keep going because we can stop and talk about every single one of these every single time. Yep. But like Colts at 26, no sense. Vikings right above them. They're not a large.
They moved up one. Are you?
They moved up one against the Colts because they beat the
0-4 team. The
yes.
Colts beat the Ravens. Yes. What are you trying to compare there?
I don't know, dude. This makes no sense to me right here. This absolutely no sense at all. Regardless, they got the win against the second worst team in NFL rank right now, and they moved up over the Colts, who have beaten one of the better teams. Fuck off. That's my opinion to it. New England Patriots, they're going to keep dropping, in my opinion. And it's not even like they're bad. They just have so many key injuries. Christian Gonzalez is out for the rest of the season officially as of today. They did trade for J.C. Jackson, which
Matthew Judon
Judon's out for a while, or the season, whichever one it may be. I mean, like, Mac Jones didn't look great. They're just so beaten up injury-wise that they're not going to do much more the rest of the season. And honestly, if they tank and they get a good quarterback this year, honestly, good for them. I don't think Mac is the guy for them, to be honest with you. I think they could do other things to help them out, but here we are. Pittsburgh Steelers, they honestly should be lower too. Their damn defense is really good, but everything else about their team sucks ass. And
Steelers are frauds.
They should not be this. Frauds. They should not be up here like this. I mean, they beat the Raiders, who are number 29, and they beat who else did they beat so far? I guess they beat the Browns, which that was kind of
that's a fluke. That is a fluke game, and everyone knows it.
I think it was a fluke game too.
Oh, that pissed me off.
This is going to be the first time that Mike Tomlin will be a negative win season. I promise you it.
Did you guys see that the Steelers fans are calling for Mike Tomlin's head right now? Because he won't see the fact that Matt Canada is literally the problem.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all, dude. But
I guess what, you got to do something.
You got to do something, I guess. Next up, Commanders. I don't agree with this one either. I think they should be higher. They've played some really good teams, and they played them well. I know the Bills game is what everybody's thinking, like, oh, I'll put them at 22 because of the Bills game.
No, that
Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL, and it was a tough game for Sam Howell, but they've proven to like play well against other good teams too. So like, I don't see why they're this low either. I think they should be higher. Falcons, they are kind of a fluke team, to be honest with you, in my opinion. I don't think they're that good. They have some good players, but they're not as good as they're not a more well-rounded team than the Commanders are right now, in my opinion. Just as a simple comparison.
They're just a really gritty football team.
They have playmakers. They have Bijan Robinson, who could take over a game if he really wants to. They have Kyle Pitts if they ever decide to use the damn guy.
Dude, they just got that man conditioning out there.
Yeah,
that's literally it.
It's not been good for the Falcons.
It's sad.
They dropped 4 already from this point. They should be dropping more, to be honest with you. The fact that Commanders stayed the same is bullshit. That makes no sense to me. Next up, we have Bengals. Keep dropping them lower. These guys are shit this year. Rest your quarterback that you just paid a shit ton of money for, because he is clearly not healthy. He's going to be not healthy for much longer if you keep trying to put his ass out there and have him play games. There's no point to risk him like this, and it's proving that he is not winning them games because of it. He's hurting the team right now, in my opinion. Moving on. Jets. Jets, kind of tough one. I think this is a good spot for them, because I think the only reason why they're this high is because I think Zach Wilson proved that they can do something. At some points, if he plays well, even though they didn't get the win, they're 1-3. I don't think they're that bad. They have a good defense. They have some good playmakers on offense. It's a matter of, can Zach Wilson perform like he did on Sunday night. Saints dropped quite a bit. I think with the injury to Carr doesn't help. Some of the, having Kamara back, I think you're only going to go up from here, to be honest with you, if he's able to come back and be his typical Kamara there. But I honestly don't hate this ranking for the Saints right now, because again, they've lost some games to the Falcons. They lost to the Falcons, right? Or no?
We didn't play the Falcons. We lost to the Bucks, and we lost to the
who was it?
Packers.
Packers. Okay, that makes sense. That's who it was. Not bad teams you guys lost to necessarily, but I don't mind this ranking, to be honest with you.
I'd rather have that than be like I'd rather be number 18 instead of being number 4 and then dropping 18 spots.
Yeah.
Having it that way, I'd rather be going up. So
yeah, no, I think I don't like it. I think
same
it
boat.
was better.
yeah,
Jeez, they had the Rams this low on this list because they went up 7 from last week. I think the Rams are a great team this year, to be honest with you.
Puka Nacua, wow.
Dog. Dude, this guy's great. And I think they have a pretty solid defense too. I mean, Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald still. They have a great offense. Cooper Kupp's coming back.
If this team miraculously makes the playoffs, this is a dangerous team.
Yeah, no, I think they're a solid team, and to be at 17, I don't hate it, but I think they could be higher. I think they're definitely higher than the Tennessee Titans. They're better. They're better than the Tennessee Titans. I can tell you that much right now.
I do not agree with this one.
This Tennessee Titans team.
They played a shitty Bengals team and they moved up 5 spots. Bullshit. I don't see how this is a thing. They are not this good.
They shouldn't have moved up 5 spots. You ain't wrong. But like,
they're not ahead of the Rams.
No,
and they're sure shit not ahead of us. We beat them.
Yeah,
they're shit not ahead of us. I'll tell you that.
What's that?
Who the fuck is running this?
Like, I don't know.
I'm talking about who the fuck is running.
Oh man, he's talking.
Like who's
he's
like?
who's
I like these
this.
colors better, so I'm gonna move these guys up here. Who the fuck is doing the?
I don't
think
know.
people like vote on this, like media.
Yeah,
people
who
do.
Like who is the guy sitting here and be like, that looks good. That looks good. Yep.
Checks out, Mike.
Yeah.
No,
it's like EA.
It doesn't check out.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me either. But hey, they have it. Here we are. Texans, great team. They should be higher. They've moved.
I like
up.
this spot.
They moved up 8 spots, but I think they're only going to get
this.
higher from here. I think they could be higher. I think they might be higher than the Packers.
Ooh,
I think they're higher than the Packers right now.
They are.
I mean, just from a simple comparison.
I don't mean to just. I love CJ, but he's he's one of 6 quarterbacks to pass or average over 300 yards and not throw an interception.
Yeah,
that is just an insane stat. Like
the first
Drew Brees,
4 games or something like that.
Over 1,000. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and who am I missing? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Well, Packers, not a bad team, but I don't think they're better than the Texans, to be honest with you. And they've even dropped since here. They were 10 overall previous week. I don't know about that. That's kind of a high one. This one, I don't hate it. I actually kind of like this one because this is where they're kind of performing at, to be honest with you.
Khalil Mack,
man, baby. Let me tell you, this guy had 6 sacks. Insane week for him. Dog of the week domination there. For Y guy, but no, I think this is a good spot because they should be higher, but that's just how they're performing, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. Next one up, Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know because they've had so many ups and downs as a team so far this season. They've looked really good. They've looked really shitty. Now they are kind of in this middle ground. I don't hate 12. But that's kind of what both these teams are, so I couldn't say that Chargers should be better than Jacksonville. So I
like Jacksonville here because they lost to a team they shouldn't have.
Yeah. So Texans need to be ahead of them, then, right? Yeah.
Just because they beat them, I could.
No, they dominated them. That was not.
I could
just
see
beat.
that. I can honestly see Texans being above all of these teams right now. From
okay,
playing.
Yeah, I
could see that. I could see that. Browns, they're a good team, but they're not this good.
Okay, what are we doing 2 hours before kickoff telling me Dorian Thompson-Robinson is coming out to play?
DTR, baby.
I don't know.
Tell me this beforehand so I can get Mari Cooper's ass out of there.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't think they should be this high, in my opinion. But they're not a bad team, but they're not.
Unfortunately, without Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
it's just well. To be honest with you, when Deshaun Watson was in, though, they passed the ball extremely well.
Yeah, that's true.
The game before that.
That's true. Tampa Bay Bucks. I don't hate this position. They played well. They beat some pretty good teams, and
top 10 is just
they keep winning.
See.
They keep winning.
You know
I mean, yeah, I know. I think it just looks weird because we didn't expect it, but I think it's a pretty good fit for them.
Yeah.
Next up, Seattle Seahawks. I don't hate.
I like this spot.
I mean,
I
think it's about where we should be right now. I think we have yet to prove to be against a good team so far. Lions were a great team that we beat already, and they're actually above us on this list.
Week 1 though, you
it.
were ready to just end the world right there.
Week 1, dude, man, we played like shit, and I think it's just because we also expected the Rams not to be as good as they were.
Yep.
But they beat our ass, man. They beat our ass week 1. But I think we're a better team from week 1 to week 4 already in this case.
Absolutely.
I like it. Baltimore Ravens right above us. I think they could be higher. They look really good this year, in my opinion. They've lost a game to the Colts, which kind of a fluke game. They could be undefeated at this point. I'm high on the Ravens, man. They could be potentially top 5 in my opinion right now.
Yeah, when they added Roquan last year and now adding the Clowney, I mean, that's just
Zay Flowers is a threat.
That too. I'm just talking defensively. Like when you have Roquan running the middle of the field and Clowney on the edge, like that's just a scary duo right there.
Yeah. No, I like it, but they could be higher in my opinion, to be honest with you. Lions.
Yep.
Tough, man. They're a good team.
I like this spot.
And even though that we beat them, I'm not counting that as like, oh, we should be above them then. I don't think that at all. I think this is probably respectable where they're at currently. They played some good teams, and I mean, like, hey, I think they're only gonna
this team's built for the long run.
Yeah, they got a good squad going there in Detroit. Dolphins, I think losing as bad as to the Bills really set them down a lot this week. I would have agreed with this position of being them at like 1 then previously.
The only reason I don't like it because the Bills were at home, so they already had an advantage.
But they beat their asses, though, Wyatt.
They
beat their asses.
I watched the game. It was a track meet. The first 6 drives ended in a touchdown. So
you're not wrong there. But they really died off in the second half for sure.
Defensively, the Bills showed up. They have the real deal.
Yeah. Well, I don't hate it here. Cowboys, I mean,
I think they're lower.
You can't lose. You can't lose to the Cardinals and still be top 5. You can't lose to the Cardinals and still be top 5.
I don't like it. The thing is, we're giving everybody's praise, or we're giving all these Cowboys praise on their defense, but you saw what happened when their defense couldn't stick up and do anything. Kind of like the Steelers.
Yeah,
they didn't show up. You have to put the ball on the offensive side, and Dak is just. It's like Dak is taking 2 steps back. Like it looks like he's so slow. He's not making the reads. Like the Cardinal game, you saw he was looking straight. Like you guys seen that picture? Looking straight, and there's 2 Cardinals and his wide receiver like on the left side, and he throws it right in between the Cardinals. Like what are we like? You gotta lock it in. Like this, I don't like this. This 5 is not it. I don't like it.
They're a good team, but they definitely are not this high. They're not above the Dolphins. They're not above the Dolphins.
I don't. What's 7 again?
No, they're not.
7 is Detroit.
I don't think
I put Detroit above them.
Well,
I don't know if I would do that.
I put Baltimore above them.
Baltimore, I think, is better than Dallas right now.
Just I think Dallas should be 8.
They're not losing the teams that are that bad. Cardinals aren't like the worst team in the NFL. They shouldn't be being a top 5 team right now. And they went up still. I mean, obviously they got the win this last weekend, but they went up even though they still lost to the Cardinals and they were at 6 still. Nah. That's bullshit. That's a Cowboys fan to a T that's making this list right now, or at least had an influence on it.
The media for
it makes sense then.
Yeah, it makes sense if that's the case.
I would put Detroit over the Cowboys right now, especially after losing Trevon Diggs. Like he was the most aggressive guy on that team.
Yeah. Well, let's keep moving here. Eagles. I like this spot for Eagles because they've shown signs of them not being the best. They're undefeated. You can't drop them out of the top 5. I like this spot for the Eagles, in my opinion.
Their offense looked good against, I would argue, a top 3 defense for Washington.
For Washington or for the Eagles?
No, Washington. And their offense looked extremely well.
We're talking about the Eagles, buddy.
No, I'm telling you, Washington has a top 3 defense, arguably.
And they still look good.
And they look extremely well.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think they're good at where they're at. Personally, they're not above the Bills. I think the Bills show that they're a good team, even though they had some struggles right away. I think they proved to be a great team this last weekend.
I would put them above the Chiefs, the Eagles right now.
Yeah, so next top 2, we have Chiefs and then 49ers. This one, untouchable. I agree with this 100% every single time. Great. This I don't agree with. This is the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift media issue and push right here. They are not top. They're not the second team. They're not the third team, potentially not the fourth team.
I'll put Miami ahead of them.
Miami, I think, is
I
over
will
them
put
too.
Miami ahead of their ass.
Hell, they might be 6 or 7 on this list if we're actually being realistic and not just being a fanboy of the Chiefs.
We ain't
and
biased
Taylor
around
Swift.
here, media.
How
We're watching the NFL.
how is the Eagles number 4 and the Chiefs are number 2?
There's
It makes no
way.
sense. That doesn't
There's
make
no
any
way
sense
that
to
they
me.
should be.
I think honestly, guys, and I'm just gonna stop sharing because that's all we had here for this one. But I honestly think what it comes down to is it's a matter of the fact that you can never count out Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce is why they put him so high every single year, because even when you try to doubt them, they come back and win the fucking Super Bowl somehow. Last year, a great example, like nobody was expecting him to be that kind of team again. They lost Tyreek Hill. They what are they doing? And they came back and won the Super Bowl, one of the hardest championships to win in any sports history. Like, don't tell me that you can't just count them out. That's the only reason why they're this high, in my opinion.
The sod father.
But yeah, I don't know. That's my opinion on it, though. But hey, that's our power rankings, guys. New segment there for us, and we'll keep doing it as we go on. Thanks for the suggestion there, Spence. Appreciate it. All right, and in the next segment here, we have everybody's favorite. We have ourselves Dead or Alive, our version of the fastest 3 minutes by Chris Berman or Trey Ford, whichever one you want to consider. But hey, let's just jump right into it, guys. We have a good list of some teams and players that are dead and some that are also alive. So let's dive into it here. First up, we have the Patriots, the New England Patriots. They are 100% dead at this point. Not only are they dead on the playing field, a lot of them are dead off the field because they keep getting injured. They can't even get back on the playing field. Mac Jones doesn't look great. Bill Belichick benched him. Not a good look for the Patriots fans all around the world. Shout out you, Bergs. Moving on, Patriots are dead. Next up, who else is dead? The Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are absolutely dead right now. Even their defense being as good as they actually are, which they are still a good defense, offense is so bad that they're dragging the defense into the depths of death with them right now. Steelers are dead. Not doing great. Next up, we're just having three deads in a row here. Chicago Bears also dead. Those guys have nothing going on for them. As you guys saw, 32nd in power rankings, worst team in the NFL. Justin Fields had a game, blew a 21-point lead. Can't have it happen, guys. This is the pros. We can't be doing that shit. Moving on. Next up, Stephon Diggs, specifically Stephon Diggs. He's alive. What a breakout game for Stephon Diggs. 3 touchdowns on the game. The guy was single-handedly the reason why the Bills won that game, because that guy just balled the fuck out. Congratulations, alive, Stephon Diggs. Next up, Anthony Richardson. He is alive in this case. He didn't have a great first half. I have him in fantasy. I had him at 5 points at halftime. I was freaking the fuck out. He came back with 30 in fantasy in this course. Is that it's a word?
Coitus? No.
Coitus?
No.
Anthony Richardson. This guy is a dog, man. Let me tell you what. I'm happy with him. He's not better than CJ Stroud, but man, in life, is he a good quarterback in the NFL? Congratulations, Anthony. Next up, AJ Brown. AJ Brown is alive. This guy had a first breakout game of the season so far. We knew he was a dog from last year. First game back in this season. I'm happy with where I'm seeing from him. 2 touchdowns. Kind of walked off the game in a way for the Eagles, even though it went to overtime. That guy was the reason why they even got those last 2 touchdowns in the last quarter there. Moving on. Nice job, AJ. We have the Giants. We know where they're at. Those guys are dead as shit. Those guys are not doing anything right now. They need to figure it out because, man, they are they're dead. Saquon's out. They paid all the money to a quarterback that doesn't have a positive winning record as a QB in the NFL. Like, what are we doing, guys? That's dead behavior. That's why you are dead. Next up, Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is alive. You're going to hear his name here soon as well. Khalil Mack is an absolute dog, and not just a dog nominee of the week. The guy had 6 sacks. The reason why that Chargers defense or Chargers team even got a win this week, probably because he was single-handedly winning them the ball back every single time he stepped onto the field. Nice job, Khalil. And lastly, for myself, before Spencer has a special Dead or Alive segment to add in there quick, is Christian McCaffrey. This guy's alive. We haven't given Christian McCaffrey enough love, I think, on this show. This guy is leading the league in rushing yards. He's scoring touchdowns. He's throwing touchdowns. He's receiving for touchdowns. All he's doing is getting touchdowns and winning games. Christian McCaffrey.
Best running back in the league.
I would change it to instead of alive, I think he should be immortal.
Immortal.
Like,
Immortal.
Dead or
dude, this
alive
guy
or
is
immortal?
untouchable right now.
All right, Spence. And lastly, you
Insane.
have your own dead or alive there. What'd you got?
All right. Desmond Ritter is the fucking shittiest player I've seen so far. Like, oh my god. Okay, but
You're gonna consider him dead?
he is dead. He is. I don't even know if he was alive. How do you put? So the Falcons thought Ritter was their guy, which everyone thought was for the year. Like, okay, Desmond Ritter. The dude played one drive of preseason, and Arthur goes, "Yup, he's good. Get him out." I don't know if you guys saw the game this past weekend. It was at 8:30. I got up to watch it just to watch the Falcons get pwned.
Absolutely shit.
And they ran the ball. What was it? 22 times.
Jake's
They
at
need-
home though, so like that's a tough game.
Yeah, okay. In London.
No, it's their home field. What do you
Yeah, I
mean?
know. But okay, so they ran the ball 22 times. They need to run the ball 42 times, 44 times, double that. Desmond Ritter went out, threw a pick, right? It was a 50-50 ball. Not really, but whatever. And then they go and score. Next fucking play, throws a pick again. Like, what are we doing? Like, Desmond Ritter, I don't think he's ready. It's gonna be week 5 now, and if you can't,
Granted,
you can't
He's
sit a
basically
guy
a
there.
rookie at this point. Like he didn't really see the field much last year. Didn't really have anyone to like learn from. I mean, don't get me wrong, Marcus Mariota was a great college quarterback, but like during the NFL, I mean, he's mid to just average quarterback. And this is his first chance to like really letting loose, and he did not show up at
He's
all.
not ready,
Or hasn't showed up at all year.
and he just needs to like it's so hard for the Falcons right now because you can't sit the guy, you'll destroy him. You'll sit the guy, or if you sit the guy, that whole morale, that whole like whatever is just gonna die, and he's gonna be even more dead. I don't know what you even call it, even more dead, but
Yeah.
like it's I'm not
Hope
a
for the
Falcons
best,
fan,
but
but I'm
yeah.
a fan of football, and watching that just like it's like come on, dude.
And because of that, Desmond Ritter is dead as shit. And boys, that's been our fastest 17 minutes with Zach Jones. And
17.
that's dead or alive. All right, it's that time everybody's been waiting for. We have Dog of the Week. We've already kind of gone through our nominations. Speaking of dogs, my dog just walked in here. But no, we already have our nominations. Just to recap quick, my Dog of the Week nominee was Devin Witherspoon from the Seattle Seahawks. Wyatt, who was your Dog of the Week?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. And Spencer, two-time cuddling. What was your Dog of the Week? Or who was
I
your
got
dog?
the Michigan alum Nico Collins.
Nico Collins with a great game there. And Jeremy
With honorable mention, I'm gonna say
oh.
AJ Brown. Honorable mention.
I will say we did need to say that he had a great
Absolutely.
week too.
Great week.
We gave him enough praise though, but the guy that I think where it's going to come home with the cake this week is Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is our dog of the week here, and as you guys can see down below is our previous dogs of the weeks. Khalil Mack is going to join that list again. Great week of football for him. Why? What did he have this week?
10 total tackles, 8 solos, 6 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, and a pass deflected. Like this guy,
Gee.
4 quarterback hits as well. Like this guy was all
This guy was all over the
over the
field.
man. I mean, no Joey
Man.
Bosa. He really came and played, and you wouldn't expect that because like this guy should be double guarded by both left tackle and the left guard. Like he should not be touching the quarterback at all.
They sleeping on Khalil, but hey, congrats to
Maybe
Khalil.
sleeping.
Congrats to Khalil. You're our dog of the week. The check will be in the mail here soon, sent your way.
And he got into that scuffle. He got in that scuffle too on the sideline when they hit
Yeah, he did.
Hillary. He was in that mess. So you can
He
put
was defending him.
you can put that little
Get on my
skirmish in
board.
there on the stat line.
Well, hey, congrats, Khalil Mack. That is our dog of the week. All right, and guess what? We have a new segment on the show again. That's 2 new segments, 1 episode. We call that a 2-for-1. But no, hey, that is we have actually a ongoing segment. We're gonna try to do this, and this is gonna be our top 5 all times list. And this week's top 5 all time is gonna be tight ends. Tight ends are gonna be our top 5 all times that we're gonna be talking about. Each one of us kind of made our top 5 list of, in this case, tight ends for this week. and we're just going to go through them, talk about what we think, what we got going on here. But hey, first and foremost, we're going to start at our number 5 spot for our tight ends. For me, in my personal opinion, I think number 5, top 5 all-time tight ends is Shannon Sharpe. That's my number 5. And he's a dog, don't get me wrong, but I have him at number 5. Boys, what do you guys got? Spence, who do you have at number 5?
I agree with you at number 5 is Shannon Sharpe, but I want to be a little different. I'm going to take Jason Witten.
Jason Witten. He's an all-time receiving yards leader for tight ends, or up there. He's like number 2, I think.
I think he's completions, not receiving yards. Completions.
I'm pretty sure he's number 2. I could have swore he was.
Really?
According to this stat moose, Jason Witten is second all-time on receiving yards at 13,000.
Really?
13,000 for tight ends, which is insane.
10 yards per catch. 10.6.
I feel like I gotta go with Spencer as well. Jason Witten.
Jason Witten. Okay.
Yep.
But I do like Shannon, though. I do like Shannon there.
Shannon, only because he was, I think, one of the first tight ends that was not necessarily a tight end. He was your first pure receiving tight end type of a guy.
And that's why I got him at number 4, Zach.
You got him at number 4.
And that's
okay.
why I got him at number 4.
Okay. I like
this guy
it.
was a dog.
All right. Well, he was one of the first.
Call the National Guard. Call the Army, because we are killing the Patriots.
Yeah, no, Shannon Sharpe, not only is like a personality now, obviously, as you guys know him from ESPN and SportsCenter, whatever it may be he's on. He's also like, he had games back in the day when tight ends were there just to block people and catch a 5-yard out or a 5-yard curl. He was having 200-yard receiving games, or damn near, I should say. Pretty damn consistently. He was getting in a ton of looks. I mean, this guy literally was a receiver playing tight end, but he was big enough and strong enough to get by as a tight end. He'd tell you that he wasn't the best blocker. He didn't love blocking, that kind of stuff. But damn, that guy was that guy was legit. I like it though at number 4 there. Why? Who do you have at number 4 there, Spence?
I had a little okay, who do I want? I'm gonna take Gronk.
Gronk. Okay.
Wow.
That might be a little bit controversial at number 4.
What do you mean?
I mean,
4. I'll tell you that.
I don't know if I put him down below whoever else you might have above him right now, but damn. Okay.
Now,
I want to hear it though.
I see where he's going with this.
I think I do too.
Now, I will tell you this. I'm not including present day players.
Okay.
I am, but it's
me too.
So
it's fine.
I am not. I don't mind Gronk at that tight end position, but right now that's where he's sitting. He's a great, you know who Gronk is,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All that, but I just feel like there's a few more guys that are not, I wouldn't say better, but just a little bit higher on my list.
Okay. I had number 4.
I agree with you. It's all debatable.
Number 4 for me, and I think I know where you're going with this one too, Spence, but number 4 for me is Antonio Gates. This guy, I mean, talk about an all-timer. He played for 47 years. On top of it, though, he was that throw it up in the end zone and he's going to catch it kind of a guy. I mean, big-bodied. He wasn't going to burn anybody necessarily, but this guy just caught passes like nobody else's business. Also one of the pioneers, I would say, of the current modern-day tight end that we have today. He was that guy in the early 2000s. I mean, this guy was an absolute animal, and that's why I put him at number 4 because, again, more of a pioneer type of a guy. My last 2, Shannon Sharpe, I think, was honestly the first one to step into that role. Antonio Gates was also one just to continue that dominance of, tight ends not just being a blocker in that case. Yeah. Moving on, though, number 3, boys. I'll just keep it going. Why not? Might come to a surprise here. I'm putting Travis Kelce at number 3. And this might be, again, controversial because he might be number 1 on some people's lists or might not even be on the list altogether. Like Wyatt, who knows? Who cares? Travis Kelce, in the end of the day, and that's just current rankings right now, he has potential to be the best tight end of all time, or if for sure go up to number 2 in that list. In my opinion, you're talking about another guy that is the example of what the modern day tight end is supposed to be. Big body guy, runs receivers like a damn wide receiver, or runs routes like a damn wide receiver. I mean, he gets 10 catches a game, 100+ yard receiving games, gets touchdowns. I mean, like this guy can do it all, and he's doing it at like record paces. To be honest with you, I gotta put Travis Kelce at number 3 as of right now. Definitely potential for growth there. Why? What are you thinking for number 3?
At number 3, this might be a surprise to all you. I'm putting Tony Gonzalez there.
Okay.
I mean, one of the most dominant tight ends played in KC and Atlanta.
Mhm.
But the only reason I put him at number 3, because you can guess my number 2 now. But there's a I'll get to it.
Are you putting Mike Dick up top or what?
No.
Iron Mike Ditka.
My number
But
2 has already been said.
I'm throwing Antonio Gates at 3.
At 3. Okay. I respect it. And
Oh,
that's
it's been
just
said twice now.
just the grind of that receiver or that
Yep.
receiver, that
Yep.
tight end type of guy. I
Yep.
like it. Wyatt, and who's your number 2 you've been in? Who's your number
Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates is my number 2.
okay.
Just one is because Tony Gonzalez had a couple of years where he was really banged up and didn't get really play as much. Where Antonio Gates, year in, year out, he was Phillip Rivers' number 1 receiver, number 1, like just pretty much everything in Chargers receiving.
Yeah.
Like this guy literally played every single year, every single down, was rarely hurt.
Mhm.
He was just a dominant tight end.
Now, not to mention, he's also number 3 all time in receiving yards as well. So I mean, like he ain't no pushover too. I mean, the
No,
guy is right
absolutely
up there
not.
with some of the best. Spence, you had yours at Antonio Gates, or who was your second guy then?
No, I got Tony Gonzalez at number 2.
Tony Gonzalez. Look at this.
Yep.
Just
All right.
flip flop from me and Spence.
Yep.
I like it.
But you?
Well, for me, number 2 is Tony Gonzalez. I'm Tony Gonzalez. Yep. I had to go Tony Gonzalez too. I think just because he has the stats to back up his dominance. Was, I would say, the official first tight end that was like, I'm just gonna get 1,000 yards every single season. That's just the way it's gonna be. Super well-rounded tight end too, I would say. I mean, yes, he was known for his pass catching, but he's a big body guy that could block too. But man,
Yep,
I had to put him at number 2. I think Kelsey's gonna overtake him here soon, in my opinion, if he hasn't already. And that's my piece on it.
I think
Spence,
everyone that's number 1 is all the same then.
I know. Spence, who is your number 1?
He's dating a Swiftie, or this Swiftie.
Oh,
Yeah,
Whoa.
he had a different. He had Gronk at 5 or 4, didn't he?
Yep, I put Travis Kelce up there because I think through like the years, I think he's just gonna pass Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Because number 1, if Travis Kelce wasn't around, Gonzalez is 1.
Yeah.
And then it goes backwards, but I think Travis Kelce is gonna be the greatest tight end of all time. This is saying for the future. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Like right now, it's Gonzo, but I think Travis Kelce will pass him. That's why I'm putting it at 1.
Why? I think you and I are on the same page with who our number
Zach,
1 is.
I'll let you go first. Back this man. This man's different.
So
There has not been another tight end like
So-
this man.
But I'm just
Gronk.
saying, I know Gronk's number 1 for you guys. That's when you guys said that. I knew it was Gronk number 1. I am a firm believer in Gronk, but I just, I knew everyone's listening to me the kind of
Dude.
game. I had to switch it up.
I understand, but when you look at the size difference between Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, and we'll even throw Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Gronk is big.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
guy can block. This guy can run. He can catch the football. I mean, not to mention, I love what who's the Chiefs head coach? Andy Reid. Excuse me. I almost said
Andy
Eric Reid. Excuse me. But I love what he's doing because he's getting Travis Kelce open.
Yeah.
But Gronk was double covered, just absolutely face guard all over the field. And he was able to come down with basically, it was a 50-50 ball. Not even 50-50 ball. In his mind, it was probably 80-20 in his mind, just coming down with these catches. And not to mention, he had a really good quarterback throwing him in places where most people can't. But so does Travis Kelce over here.
Yeah.
Literally, this guy was just a game wrecker. That's literally what he is.
my piece, on Travis Kelce, on Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski, in my opinion, is the most well-rounded tight end that the NFL has ever seen. He is not the best pass receiving tight end. He is not. I would say he's probably not the best blocker in tight end history. I wouldn't say that, but he was the best at doing both and being very effective at both. And you got to talk about the championship with him too, obviously. And it's tough to talk about championships in the NFL because it's such a team sport. You could be a great player, like Barry Sanders is an example, never won a Super Bowl. Does that mean he's a bad player? No, he's one of the best of all time. But because Gronk has all the Super Bowls to back it up, because he could get a pancake block if he needed him to, because he could catch a corner end zone touchdown over 3 guys if he needed to win the Super Bowl. If you needed him to catch the ball and then get 25 yak yards on top of it and then run over some guys to score a touchdown, Gronk did it, and he did it consistently. And even now on a different team, you just proved that we could talk about another all-time is like top 5 or whatever quarterback to receiver connections of all time. I mean, you can't not talk about Gronk and Tom Brady because he's on that list of all of those things. I think that's why you have to put Gronk at number 1. And again, I don't think he's the best at catching. I don't think he's the best at blocking, but the fact that he can do both of them so well is what makes him, I think, the best tight end of all time. And that's why he was so successful in his career.
So
he's got new coverages as well. Very well. He's a football guy.
There was I will say one more thing, I'll let you go, Spence. There was a Julian Edelman, actually. Gronk was also on the New Heights podcast by the Kelce brothers. Shout out. Just kidding. They're not watching.
Shout out to them, though. They got a really good podcast.
They do. But they had Julian Edelman on. And Julian Edelman said,
love this episode, by the way.
Low-key, Gronk is like Rain Man, is what
Edelman said. I love that line.
Because he can remember numbers and he can remember specific things like that. And it was tell him once and he's never going to do it again. And he's always going to remember that situation for the rest of it. He comes across as this like dumb jock, but super football smart. Nobody, I think, ever really gave him enough credit for that. He comes across as just dumb idiot that just likes to catch footballs and run and spike the ball. No, this guy actually knew he knew how to ball, and he knew the concepts and insides of football that only the best of the best know. So Another piece to talk about. Spence, go ahead. What were you going to say?
So personally, I just wanted to start a little, stir the pot a little bit, but I think Gronk is the greatest tight end. If not, Kelce will be there. I agree with that, but I think Gronk's.
You put him at number 4. You put him at number 4.
Yeah, just to stir it up because I knew everyone was going to say Gronk
or 5.
He said Jason. No, he said Jason Wiz. He said Jason.
Yeah, put him at 4 because I knew everyone was in a. I know Gronk's way up there. I just wanted to see what you guys are going to say, but personally, I love Antonio Gates. That's why.
Oh, me too.
But I think Gonzo right now, off of just, off the records, whatever, he's the best tight end of all time. But yeah, Gronk's just unstoppable, immortal.
Different. He's just different.
Immortal. Immortal.
Yeah.
When you're the GOAT of all time's favorite receiver, you're doing something right.
Yeah, not wrong there. But hey, man, that was our first time going through our all times list. We're going to continue this list. It's going to be a different one for the weeks to come.
What do you guys want us to do next? Comment below what you guys want.
Let us know down below. Is it quarterbacks? Is it running backs? Is it like
kickers?
We talked about?
We want kickers.
Best connections. We want to get the kickers in here.
The Gunners for the punt.
Gunners.
Who's the best long snapper out here?
Best long snapper of all time. Let us know in the comment section below, guys. And yeah, that was our first all-time top 5 all-times list, tight ends version. All right, and that leaves our last segment here for you guys today on this episode number 4 of Turf Talks. Pick'ems, our weekly pick'ems. Last week we gave off our who we were picking for each team. If you guys want to see who we picked last week, go ahead and watch last week's video. It should be right at the end of this video here. You can go ahead and click and watch that one if you didn't check out last week's episode. Trey actually won the week. He had 14 out of 16 correct. Nice job, Trey. Great job selecting teams there.
Great job.
Spence came in number 2 with 12 correct. Wyatt had 11 correct. And then I brought up the rear with 10 correct. All double digits, though. So you got to say we know our ball a little bit.
What was the most surprising for you guys, though? Who didn't win?
Most surprising. I think, honestly, I'm going to put
Carolina for me.
Carolina. I
thought they should have played a lot better with Bryce Young being back in the helm. Now, granted, they were in the lead till that fumble, but I thought they would play it a lot better.
My opinion, I thought Dolphins. I honestly thought Dolphins had a better chance than what they, at least not necessarily win, but I thought they would have put up a better fight in the second half than they did. We obviously, I think all of us or most of us picked the Dolphins to win that game. I mean, tough one to lose there, but hey, there's always this week. And guess what? Speaking of this week, let's dive into this week's pick'em. So this starts tomorrow here. It's technically Wednesday, October 4th. But hey, we have the Chicago Bears playing the Washington Commanders.
If we lose this game, I might kill myself.
Not even going to have to talk about it. I think Commanders are getting this win.
I might kill myself.
Okay, let's relax. Relax, dude.
No,
relax.
There's no ifs or buts about it.
If your defense plays the way they should, Sam Howell's been doing what he's doing, you guys will be just fine. Not worried about it.
If you play like you do with the Eagles, you're going to win.
Yep.
I know, but like there's just that thought in the back of my mind, like it's Thursday night, prime time, everyone's watching. It's gonna be a close game.
No one's watching this game. I'm just gonna say it right now. No one's watching the Bears.
Jeez. All right.
No one wants to do that.
Next one up, we have the Bills versus Jags. Where is this game at?
In Buffalo.
It's at 8:30 a.m. Are you sure?
Isn't this?
No. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's in London. It's at
they
Wembley
stayed
again.
in London.
Yeah.
The Jaguars stayed in London?
Yes.
I thought this was Germany. Or is it Germany later on?
No, it's later,
no,
I think.
That's later. No, this is in London. This is the second game in London. The Jags actually did stay in London. So they've been practicing on some soccer field.
I don't want to have to do it, but there's my dog. He's making an appearance.
Jagsy boy.
I think I'm going to have to go with the Jags, I think.
Dude. I'm going Bills.
I'm going Bills.
You going Bills?
This is a no-brainer for me.
I want to pick the Bills, but it's Jacksonville in London.
Do it.
Go ahead. Be that guy.
I'm doing it, damn it.
Hey, someone's got to be the opposite so we don't look like fools up here.
You're not wrong. I'm going Ravens on this next one. Ravens versus Steelers. Yeah, Ravens getting the dub. Steelers suck ass. Next
Steelers at home at 12, though. Might be a little tough.
I don't care. No, Ravens are.
Until the offense shows
Mitch Trubisky, I don't think so.
No.
Oh, is it Mitchell Trubisky?
Yeah, because Kenny Pickett's out for MCL, I think. I think they might be MCL.
I didn't know if it was like something.
All right. Next up, Panthers versus Lions. I got Lions in this case. It's at home in Detroit, dude. Like, come on. Can't be beaten.
We're in 8 Mile.
I think we're on the same boat there.
We're on 8 Mile. Texans versus Falcons. I'm going Texans. I think Texans get this win, to be honest with you. I don't think Falcons have it in them, my opinion.
Right now, I just don't believe in Desmond Ritter.
Yeah.
That's
you don't believe in him?
Like that? Okay. Let's be honest. Spencer has the most disbelief in that man. But at the same time, that defense is really gritty. It's a tough place to go into, the Georgia Dome. But at the same time, I'm going with the Texans. They just look like a better team offensively.
All right.
How can you come from Cincinnati and you have both Kelsey brothers come out there? And didn't Sauce come out of Cincinnati too?
Yes, sir.
And then you throw Desmond Ritter in there? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Second round pick too.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. All right, next up, Saints versus Patriots. I got Saints all day. Patriots are too banged up. Mac Jones is demoralized and defeated as a human being right now. Saints get this one easy, in my opinion.
Saints.
Giants versus.
I'm torn on this game. Low key.
No Matthew Judon.
That's the only thing that sucks for me. And no Christian Gonzalez. So, but it's also in Foxborough, so anything goes at that game. So it's probably a close one, to be honest with you.
You gotta think though, their entire defense is injured right now. Their entire defense.
If Derek Carr looks like he did last week,
then we just play Taysom Hill. I think he played Jameis Winston.
Give this man an actual week to prepare.
Like we run the ball with Taysom.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
Yeah. Next up, Giants versus Dolphins. Dolphins to get this win
in Miami. This is a track meet.
Yeah,
No,
is
you
gonna
can't go
turn into a
back on
track.
that, Zach. You can't go back.
I didn't mean to say Giants. Titans versus Colts. Tough matchup here, in my opinion. I think Colts are going to get the win, in my personal opinion. I think they're going to. I think Titans have a good defense, but I think Colts are going to be better, in my
Taking
opinion.
Titans.
I'm torn on this game as well because granted, Anthony Richardson showed that he's been passing the ball extremely well, but I do think that Titans D is really good, and Mike Vrabel knows how to coach.
And Henry's coming out looking like prime Henry.
Yep. I'm going Colts.
Give me the Titans. I'm going Colts. I'll go Colts with you, Zach. Let's run it.
No
I said
backseats. No
Let's do
backseats.
it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Bengals versus Cardinals. I got Cardinals, dude.
I do too.
Cardinals look better.
Oh, you're right. I got Cardinals.
All right. I'm
Brandon.
taking the Bengals. Just shitting on Cincinnati, and I'm gonna take Bengals here.
Jeez.
I think they need one. That's why.
That's true.
They do
definitely
need one.
All right. We have Eagles versus Rams. Tough matchup. Gonna be a tough game, but I think I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Wyatt. I think Eagles are gonna get the win, but this is gonna be a tough one. They're gonna be tested.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially in LA. I mean, there's a lot of new Rams fans out there since they won the Super Bowl, and that place gets packed.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen that meme where that girl tries to spell out Eagles? E-G-L-E-E-S. Eagles. Give me the Eagles.
All right. There we go. I respect it. Eagles sweep. Chiefs versus Vikings. I think Chiefs get the win, but the Vikings, man, I'm hoping they keep
I hope
losing.
they lose by 70.
I hope they keep losing. That's what I hope.
I hope the Chiefs put up 100 points
There we
by
go.
half.
Let's do it.
I hope Justin Jefferson does well, but the Vikings lose. Yeah, shit ton.
That's what I'm rooting for too.
I hope Kirk Cousins also has a good game. Just don't score.
All right. Next up, Jets versus Broncos. Tough matchup. I think if Zach Wilson, I think he's got some confidence. I'm going Jets. I'm going Jets on this one. I think he's going to have some help with the defense. I think they'll play good. Broncos are not a great team, as we know. I'm going Jets on this one.
I agree.
I think I'm going Jets as well.
Okay.
I
Sounds
don't.
good.
I like Sean Payton. I don't like the
Tough
team.
environment to play in, though.
Yeah.
This could be a really close game.
I agree. Next up, tough game. Cowboys versus 49ers. If they look decent, again, prefaces, if they look decent, as in Dak Prescott doesn't throw 14 interceptions, the Cowboys could win this game. I can't go against the 49ers. I can't, but this is going to be one of the 49ers' toughest
Especially
games.
at home.
It's one of the toughest games
I
that
just
they've
can't
had
go
so
against
far,
them.
though.
I'm gonna go 49ers, but I think that they're relying too much. Like I said earlier, they're relying too much on that defense, and that defense and that offense. It's two powerhouses going at it. You're gonna you need both sides to
And
click.
Brock Purdy's
And the
been
Cowboys just don't click on offense, so I'm taking the Niners all day.
Oh, I
Brock
agree.
Purdy's been an absolute surgeon out there. I mean, he is putting up great numbers each and every week, not turning the ball over, doing what he's supposed to do. It's kind of tough to go against a team where a quarterback is literally that in sync with his own team. And Debo didn't even see a single reception last game. I think he got a run play, and that was it.
Yeah.
They don't even need them.
No, they don't. They don't.
That's how good they are.
Like, literally, they got so many weapons, and that old line is so good.
Yeah.
Like,
Be
Dude,
tough
You got
That
every,
team-
you got
that
every
team
position check marked except for quarterback, and you could literally say your quarterback's check mark too.
oh, absolutely. He's gonna be. He's up there. He's definitely a top 15 quarterback right now. Arguably top 10,
I wouldn't
just
put it
based
past
off
it.
numbers.
Yeah, just 4 weeks going in. Yeah.
Yeah, going off of numbers.
All right, and lastly, we have Green Bay Packers versus the Rams on Monday Night Football. I'm going Green Bay on this one, and
Wait, what?
I'm Green Bay versus Raiders. If I
Okay.
said Rams, I meant to say Raiders. Green Bay
Las
versus
Vegas.
Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. Gonna be a tough game, I think, but I think Packers get the win.
Jonathan Taylor just returned to practice. Hey,
Win.
Colts fans.
Can I get the Colts back?
Nope,
Yeah, go
nope,
ahead.
no takesy backs. No takesy
shit.
backs. I'm going Packers though, and I'm going score is only 30 because I don't know if it's going to be a high scoring game, to be honest with you. And I
I
think
went
if anything,
40.
the Packers are going to win this
Yeah,
one.
I'm going 38.
Okay,
I'm taking Packers.
there we go.
I also took Packers.
Well, hey, there's our picks, guys. Thanks for listening to those. And hey, if you follow us, great. If you don't, I don't care. Definitely don't follow me. If you want 10 wins, correct? You got me, man. Listen to me exactly. That's what I've been averaging so far. Man, boys, that does it. That's episode number 4 for us. I feel good. I feel good. That was a fun episode.
Let me get a shout out quick.
Yeah, shout out.
I want to shout out all of us for week 1. We were kind of scripted. We were stiff, like we were reading a paper like this, like reading it like this.
Oh yeah.
And now we're just loose. It's going to be our going into 5th week next week.
This
And-
one felt like our most smooth podcast
It just feels
in a while.
it was like it felt like, okay, we need to get this like boom, 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 like week 1. It felt like kind of a job. Like you had all these. Now it's just like, fuck
Yeah.
it. Let's add in top 5 wide receivers, our tight ends. Let's dog of the week. Let's add that. Like it's just fun now.
No,
It is
I like reminiscing on good players like from the past, like
Yeah.
because there has been a lot of good players, and it's just fun to go back, rewind, look back at how they did, shit like that.
For
So
sure.
now it's not like we're sitting here doing like a homework assignment pretty much. We're just free forming it.
Damn right.
Shout
And
out Turf Talks.
We appreciate
we still
appreciate
do
all.
homework. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, we do the
still
homework.
Do our homework.
I got
We do our
receipts, too.
homework around.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Everybody at home, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe if you're new. Appreciate it. Let us know down below. What segment did you like the best? Who is like we talked about earlier? Who should we do next for our all-time top 5 list there? And yeah, boys, appreciate it. It's been real. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys all in the next one.